Dave?
Yeah, we're really excited. We're here to bring you a different fantasy experience than your normal like CBS and NBC Sports. They'll just tell you to start Saquon Barkley every week and sit the guy who tore his ACL last night. So we're gonna have you covered from that.
I mean, I don't know how many of you guys know me, but if you do, you know I like to stir the pot. You know I'm going to sit here, I'm going to give you a hot take. Definitely a hot take.
Definitely a bad one.
You know, Miami Dolphins are going to have a better record than the New England Patriots this year.
Definitely not.
Can give that one out. So, another little thing about our league that kind of makes us a lot different than others is we're actually going to start this year with 3 bench spots.
Which makes, I honestly still don't know what he means by that.
So we're going to have 4 bench spots once bye weeks start. We have the IR spot, 2 of those. Once the bench or the bye weeks become relevant to the league, you can use that 4th bench spot as a bye spot. It's going to be pretty much like a reserve. If you're sitting there with 4 guys on the bench who are playing a game that week, you're going to be penalized. You can have up to 3 that are playing. That 4th spot has to be a bye. So it kind of keeps it where people can't stash players. You're not going to be able to stash that rookie, that Antonio Gibson, if he's not popping off really early in the year.
What you want?
You want to sit there on your bench. Can't do that. Can't sit there with 3 quarterbacks, 2 quarterbacks. 18 teams, there's only, what do you say, 20 relevant fantasy quarterbacks?
Easily, yeah.
I can't sit there with 2 of them sitting on my bench hoping you get stuck with, you know, that Gardner Minshew every single week.
I always used to, back in the day, just pick up everyone and drop them so nobody could grab them. The old sneaky pick and drop.
So like I said earlier, I am actually the commissioner of the league. I created the league. I represent the franchise. Dave over here, he had a little issue a couple years ago. Now Dave's back in the league.
But what happened last year, friend?
Dave ended up taking the championship.
Pretty easily, too, I'd say.
Yeah, I mean, 8-5 in the regular season. His team went into that second gear come playoff time. Dave, you know.
Took out the defending champion, Andrew.
I think you'd be the 2 and 1 seed.
The 1, 2, and 3, friend.
Oh, 1, 2, and 3. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Alrighty. So, we're going to go a little into our draft recap this year.
That draft, it started off wild, guys.
Yeah, I mean,
we had 2 new teams right away.
2 new teams 20 minutes into the draft,
Won't
actually.
Go into it.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that one on a different episode.
Set those alarms, boys, you know? Set those alarms.
Live draft in person, please show up.
Mills,
show up. So, we did our own power rankings for our league. We did power rank and projected record. As much as I hate to say it,
yeah,
we're gonna give the number 1 spot to Armageddon for 7, which is
Patriots tattoo man himself.
Yeah, ran by Nate. Nate had the first pick. He went into the league this year with Marquise Brown sitting in his 7th spot. So he had Marquise Brown as a keeper in round 7. Pick 1, he went Zeke. Nate actually held off, which is very, very surprising on the Pats quarterback, Cam Newton. Ended up getting Newton pretty deep in the round. He got him in round 7. I say round 7, you guys might think, oh, Newton's going like round 12 in my league. Again, it's an 18-team league. It's not your like typical fantasy league. We're going deeper than you are. We have 3 bench spots, but those 3 bench spots are probably sitting on your waiver wire.
We draft over, 230 players between all 18 teams?
I believe 234 total. We go quarterback, 1 running back, 2 receiver, tight end, kicker, defense, individual defensive player, which is extremely fun. If you guys don't use an IDP, I advise you throw it in there.
It's honestly 10 to 20 points each week.
10 to 20 points, it's pretty fun. It's definitely better than a kicker. Kickers are irrelevant.
We'll get into that.
And then the 3 bench spots. So 234 total players. I'm going to say we actually projected Nate to come out with a 11-2 record.
No, Nate, I know what you're thinking. You're not going to be that good.
Yeah.
I know how you manage the waivers. I know how you mess it up every year.
Yeah,
Nate,
just
wait.
Please don't have an aneurysm. I do know you're probably at work jumping up and down.
Showing off your Pats tattoo to all the workers.
Everyone's got to see that, you know. Number 2, we actually had Rated X.
Also known as the Bald Bandit.
I'm going to say, like Dave said before the draft, it's very rare that you actually get a keeper who has the same name as you. Austin came in with Austin Eckler as his round 3 keeper. Austin drafted Baker Mayfield, Le'Veon Bell. Pretty good. I mean, I'm not so high on Le'Veon this year.
Adam Gase is a nutcase.
Yeah, you don't know what's going on with that offense every day. I mean, they say Bell looks great. I mean, who knows if he's going to play great. They went out, they signed Frank Gore, 47-year-old Frank Gore. He's still running around.
57, I think.
Potentially. Still running around. I mean, I don't know how he's doing it. He's going to end up playing with his son. We got
Kid's got a neck, I'll tell you that.
we got DJ Chark, Calvin Ridley, Adam Thielen. Austin is pretty stacked at the receiver position. I want to say, other than those three, though, nothing really on the bench. He has Alan Lazard. Hopefully Lazard does actually spark as that number 2 for Aaron Rodgers.
Aaron Rodgers with a chip. Do not underestimate him.
I want to say we have Austin coming in at 10-3 this year. Say that's second. For number 3 on the power rankings, we have myself. I didn't make this power rankings, unfortunately. I would love to hype myself up, but I came in with we're looking at a 9-4 record.
I mean, the biggest thing with Fran is he got 3 first-round picks from blowing up his team last year. So, I mean, take it what it is. Fran
6 and 7 last year, not so much of a blow-up. I traded a lot of the keeper value away. Still kept Deontay Johnson, though.
Number 2 in Pittsburgh, beautiful.
Number 2, healthy Big Ben back as well. I had the number 2 pick overall, plus 2 late in the first and a second. I went Clyde Edwards-Helaire. Jump on that hype train while you can. Edwards-Helaire.
Out.
Edwards-Helaire.
Out on CEH.
Brian Westbrook 2.0.
No.
I mean,
Fran, by the way, is your typical LSU superfan, so he thinks that Joe Burrow will be probably the MVP this year. Clyde Edwards-Helaire, he'll probably be Offensive Player of the Year, Offensive Rookie of the Year. No.
Edwards-Helaire playing with Pat Mahomes, with that high-powered Chiefs offense. You have Andy Reid reigning in that offense. Andy Reid is going into his 22nd year. So out of those 21 years, Andy Reid has actually fielded a RB12 or higher every single year. Out of those 16, I want to say he's had number 1 a couple times with Westbrook. I believe Shady McCoy was up there. McCoy was always in the top 3, top 5. And then you also had Jamal Charles, also top 3, top 5 when he was there. I'm just saying, Mahomes went out there. Mahomes said, "Hey, Andy, draft my guy Clyde." Andy said, "I got you, Pat. Clyde's on the team." Coming in at the end of the first round, I went Kenny Galladay, Allen Robinson. Both of them have huge upside. They are target machines. Allen Robinson reined in 90 catches last year. Kenny Galladay only had 7. But then you got to think Matt Stafford went down early. I want to say Galladay is the number 1. I believe Stafford's going to bounce back. Boom. Kenny Galladay is going to go off this year. Allen Robinson, I think top 3 in red zone targets last year.
I mean, it's all depending on Mitch Trubisky.
You don't know where Trubisky's going to be throwing the ball.
Nick Foles will be probably playing by week 4.
I hope Foles does step in there. I do like Foles. I trust Foles more. Yeah. BDN, BDN, Super Bowl MVP. Against the Pats, by the way. And then I grabbed George Kittle.
He's a stud.
Arguably the number 1, obviously top 2 tight end.
Who would you go number 2?
Kelsey. Kittle, Kelsey. Everyone else tier behind. No one else is really even close to those 2.
Evan Ingram, healthy. Come on now.
Guy can't play 4 games in a row. We got number 4 on our power rankings. We got a rookie coming into the league. Brian's pour one out for Mahomes.
Who, by his name, you can tell he got really lucky and has Pat Mahomes as a keeper in the 7th or 6th?
7th round.
That's
Pat
insane.
Mahomes in the 7th round. If you play a standard league, Pat Mahomes is going top 3, most likely. 2nd round. I would say top 2 quarterback. Getting him in the 7th round is absolutely massive.
Mm-hmm. And he drafted good too.
He drafted Miles Sanders. I'm not so high on Sanders this year. Again, he's hurt.
I like DJ Moore, though, in Carolina. He's going to be their number 1, and he's going to fill a huge role needed for your boy Teddy Bridgewater over there.
I mean, Bridgewater, yeah, it's definitely a step up from wherever the hell they were getting passes from last year. Kyle Allen.
Kyle Allen was garbage. I will lie. He was bad.
He also has Mike Evans. Mike Evans, hey,
soft tissue.
Dealing with that soft tissue injury. Let's just hope it's not the same hamstring. Evans hurt last year that ended a season.
Knowing him, it is. Come on now.
Let's hope not. Evans and Brady are actually on a very good rapport right now. They're saying Evans is Brady's favorite guy there.
Gronkowski.
Gronk's not going to be on the field that much, passing down.
Favorite player, though?
Maybe his favorite player. I mean, Fournette is there now, too, so me and Brady might have something in common now. Dallas Goedert at tight end. Philly does represent that 2 tight end set more than anyone in the league.
Yeah, Zach Ertz is going to get.
And Goddard. You also got Goddard. red
Ertz
zone
does have
target,
some
though.
injury history, though, so you got to watch out for that.
I mean, you can't name 2 receivers on that team who are healthy week 3.
I mean,
So-
Deshaun Jackson, Alshon Jeffrey. What do you mean, man?
Jeffrey can't play. Alshon, I mean, Alshon's a beast when he's on the field. The problem is Alshon's never on the field.
2015 for the Bears.
Deshaun Jackson is going to go off week 1. Deshaun Jackson may not be there week 2.
Or 15. 16.
We have pour one out for my homies as well as myself, 9-4, and dropping into our top number 5 spot is 69ers. He actually he won the league back in 2014, the inaugural season of the 508 Association.
I came in second that year. Just a little FYI. Made it twice, won it once.
So-
Fran's never made it.
Again,
He's the commissioner.
just like Brian did, he capitalized on a late pick. He had Alvin Kamara. I believe Kamara was
7.
again round 7.
Which is, I mean,
Alvin Kamara, arguably top 3.
5. No, I'd say top 5 running back.
Arguably top 3 fantasy pick in general.
Christian McCaffrey, Saquon Barkley, Michael Thomas, Dalvin Cook.
Alvin Kamara. Round out your top 5. So he's got Kamara, Chris Carson,
Devontae Adams.
Cortland Sutton, Tyreek Hill. He
Who
does deploy
is a
Mark
beast.
Andrews and Rob Gronkowski. Say if Gronkowski does stay healthy, I mean he's coming off that retirement. I say we'll see how much passing work Gronk actually gets this year. He also has Antonio Gibson. That hype train is
Stupid.
insanely big right now. I
It's
mean,
stupid. It's why, like, this kid came out of nowhere.
they're gonna name
And they named J.D. McKissick the starter.
McKissick's going to start week 1. I mean, if you look at Antonio Gibson's college history, he had about 77 touchdowns and I believe it was 77 touches. And I believe he had 17 touchdowns.
Oh, he's a goal line warrior.
So that
I mean,
that upside's huge. I mean, he's got that big play.
I mean, your downside, you're on the Washington football team.
Yeah, I mean, they're not going to be winning many games. They're not going to be running the ball. They're going to be passing.
But then again, he made AP get released. AP's old, but still.
I mean,
Instead of having AP, you'd rather this kid. Maybe he does have
77
something.
touches in college, though. I mean,
That's nothing.
You're now going to be the number 1 back in the NFL. You're
For
playing
a
against
team that needs to have a face.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I don't really see Gibson taking in over the.
Hey, watch out for Bryce Love. I'm telling you.
I don't think Gibson's going to be able to handle that workload there. Number 6, we have Shane's football team. Shane's football team again. Somebody who has a beautiful keeper with Lamar Jackson in round 5.
What a wild name.
Very well
Shane
named.
football team.
He he has Lamar Jackson. I'm gonna say I believe he had pick 4.
Very creative.
Pick 4. He dropped Michael Thomas. Grabs Michael Thomas at pick 4. So you go Lamar, Aaron Jones, Michael Thomas, Robert Woods. Absolutely love that team.
I like Robert Woods way more than Cooper Kupp.
I do too. I'm gonna say Cup at the end of the year.
He
Cup,
was a stud
Cup
last
wasn't
year.
on the field much
Yeah.
at the end of the year. I'm gonna say he was dealing with that knee injury, but at the same time, Cup was down under 70% of the snaps at the end of the year. Robert Woods is now taking in that number 1. Brandon Cooks has gone off the last 3 years there, so look out for Robert Woods. Another 1,000-yard year, possibly 10 or more touchdowns. Then he does have Hunter Henry at the tight end spot. I'm not so high on Hunter Henry.
Oh, I'm huge on him. Actually, no, yeah, I'm huge on him. Him and Tyrod would be a nice little pair.
As Tyrod Taylor was a starting quarterback back in Buffalo, he did love Charles Clay.
Mm-hmm.
Charles Clay is not talented at all, while you have Hunter Henry who, despite 8 breaks in his legs, I mean, Hunter Henry is a absolute beast when he's on the field.
I mean, him and Philip Rivers was touchdown city, but Rivers loves his tight end, so.
Number 7, we got S.J. Knights. S.J. Knights.
Former champion.
Yeah, he is a former champion. What year was that, Dave?
2017.
2017, S.J. Knights takes this ship. I would say he comes in with his keeper being Russell Wilson.
Who is arguably one of my favorite quarterbacks in fantasy.
Must-watch TV when Wilson's
On
on.
it every time.
Running back, he got Josh Jacobs. He's going to be a beast this year.
Yep.
Phillip Lindsay. At receiver, he went in huge with receivers. He's got A.J. Brown, Corey Davis, Stephon Diggs, Henry Ruggs. I mean, Dave loves Henry Ruggs. I don't really know what you want to do with that Vegas offense.
Air it out, baby. Mail time.
Other than Josh Jacobs, I don't see anyone really being a weekly start on that
Darren Waller?
team. Darren Waller, you're right. Darren Waller, top 4 tight end. How could I forget that one? Tyler Higbee is his tight end. I say
Dude, I like Everett.
not great on Higbee. Number 8 in our power ranks. I'm going to say we're going to just do our top 8 this week. Discount Belichick. He came into the year with some crazy trades for draft picks.
Oh, Oh man, yeah.
I say I believe who was
I traded him Tyreek Hill for a second-round pick, and he ended up with Julio Jones.
which I believe he traded that second round pick to get Julio Jones.
He lost a pick.
While
I basically
Tyreek Hill and Julio Jones are both a first round keeper.
Right, yeah.
You can only keep one of them. Jake, I don't know what was going through your mind. He comes into the year with Julio Jones, stud, but trades went all over the
Calvin
place.
Ridley, man, watch out for him to take a lot of receptions away.
He has Matt Stafford, Jonathan Taylor. Not so high on Jonathan Taylor. He is a stud.
I
if
think
he
by
wins that job,
week 6 or 7, if he's still alive, Jonathan Taylor will be a big part. But for those first 3-4 weeks, Marlon Mack, man.
at receiver he has T.Y. Hilton, Amari Cooper, Jerry Jeudy. I'm gonna say I'm not.
I mean,
Jake keeps saying Jerry Judy's a stud.
that Denver team
is. If you believe in Drew Lock, I mean he's gonna air it out. Denver's.
Who do you like more, Philip Lindsay or Melvin Gordon?
Man, I don't know. That
pure running
backfield's going to
back,
be a mess this year.
Philip Lindsay. I think they messed it up bringing 2 big studs.
You had Lindsay. The guy has a chip on his shoulder. He's undrafted. Every year, Lindsay's been in the league. He's been great. I'm going to say he's been splitting carries with whoever's in the backfield, whether it be...
Was it C.J. Anderson at one point back in the day?
Yeah, C.J. Anderson, I believe, was, yeah. But then you go and take Melvin Gordon away from the Chargers. I mean, yeah, it's a punch in the gut to the Chargers. You're grabbing their running back arch rival. But, I mean, now you have Lindsay and Gordon. I like Gordon when it comes to passing.
Right.
If it's PPR league, I like Gordon a lot more. If
See,
it's
what we are, the half PPR.
I'm still taking Gordon, though. But I would say Lindsay, I believe Lindsay's going to get a lot of running work. He's going to probably score more touchdowns.
I'd stay away from both.
The backfield's
whenever
a mess,
you get split time, you'd never want that in fantasy. Look at the Eagles last year.
Mm-hmm. I mean, so that rounds out our top 8 of our power rankings this year.
And I think we're going to give you the worst 3.
Yeah,
I mean, who doesn't love to see who sucked that draft?
Worst 3. So we got coming in at 16. We have Chubby Chasers. I'll say they came into the year with Nick Chubb. I believe that was a round 5, round 6 keeper.
Mm-hmm.
Chubb's a beast.
I think they grabbed Kareem Hunt too.
They did get Kareem Hunt. Hunt's going to get all of that passing work. They just re-signed Kareem Hunt to a big extension, 2-year extension. So you got Chubb and Hunt. I mean, unlike that, pretty similar to that Denver backfield, you can maybe trust both of the running backs.
I mean, I'd trust Chubb all day. He's a workhorse, man.
But do you trust Hunt all day?
I mean, in Kansas City I did.
Yeah.
But, then a little scuffle in the media, and you just drop off the face of the earth, man.
The Hunters also grabbed Daniel Jones, Joe Mixon, Will Fuller, Emmanuel Sanders. We have them so low because of their weak receiving core. Will Fuller has been great if he can stay on the field.
You got Brandon Cooks there now, don't you?
No, Brandon Cooks is not on their team. Scorpio grabbed the Cooks. But Chubby Hunters, they have Brandon Ayuk. Ayuk is the number 2 in San Francisco.
I don't like any passing on that team.
I don't like anyone besides Deebo Samuel.
Jimmy G might get 200 yards a game.
You got passing. Deebo and Kittle, and that's about it for that team. They're run heavy. They're going to run the ball down your throat. I don't trust Ayuk at all. Alshon Jeffrey, we spoke on Alshon earlier.
Mm-hmm.
Guy can't stay on the field. If he is healthy, though, absolute beast. He does catch every touchdown that Carson Wentz throws. James Washington in Pittsburgh.
That
it can be whatever. It depends how Big Ben comes back. I mean, I like Juju and Deontay Johnson, and that's really about it for that receiving core.
Have you heard the Claypool kid in training camp
Claypool
has
could
been
come up
a
and
stud. Someone you want
steal
to watch
some snaps from him.
Too.
Yep. I say then at 17 we have Tank for Trevor, our league runner-up of last year.
This man, he traded away his whole draft pick stock last year to try and win the championship again, and yours truly beat him.
Tank for Trevor came in. His first draft pick was Leonard Fournette at pick 62. 61 picks in the draft, and you don't even get one player.
And he's not even starting. It's crazy.
He has Travis Kelce as his keeper. Kelce obviously top 2. Then you go Matt Ryan, Leonard Fournette is going to be the only running back he plays. He has Jamison Crowder, Deshaun Jackson, Sammy Watkins, and Preston Williams. I mean, Jamison Crowder is going to catch over 100 passes this year. He may get 800 yards. Again, another Adam Gase mess out in New York. And coming in at number 18, Number 18. Bottom of the league, we have Suck My Fits. That is Mr. Mills.
Notorious for never showing up to a draft day.
Never.
And always complaining about the rules.
We had Mills come out here and draft Joe Burrow, pick 62 as his first quarterback in round 5.
What did he do in the waiver wire, Fran?
Okay, so he drafts Joe Burrow. I like it. I love Burrow this year. I love the potential Burrow has in that Cincinnati offense.
No shit.
But to jump there and take him at 62?
That's some stupid stuff you would do.
And I took my emotions out. Another thing you have to do in fantasy football, take the emotions out.
Edwards-Helaire, pick 2.
Joe Burrow, you draft him really early, but then you go out and you pick up Phillip Rivers. I love the matchup.
Hey,
if you're playing matchups,
I love Phillip Rivers as much as the next guy.
I love Rivers there, but
you're drafting Joe Burrow at 62. You're just wasting your time.
So he came in with Saquon Barkley as his keeper. Saquon obviously is a beast. Devin Singletary is his other running back, and then he has Darius Slayton, Larry Fitz, the GOAT, and Michael Pittman at wide receiver.
Yeah, he's starting a third stringer.
Starting Michael Pittman, that's scary. I mean,
tough look.
Jared Cook at tight end. Cook's
55.
Yeah, another guy very up there in the age, but Cook is pretty good. So, I mean, there we go.
Might want to show up to a draft one day, Mills.
Yeah,
just once.
He's going to be hitting us up saying, hey, got that chip on my shoulder now. But
yeah.
I say once he shows up to a draft, we'll put some respect on that name. Until then, no thank you. So we posted on our Instagram earlier today. We wanted to get questions out there.
Yeah, we got some questions coming.
I'm going to say, so if you guys have questions, hit us up on the 508 Association at Instagram, on the Instagram. Hit us up. It's in our story. Swipe up. Just type us a question. We'll try our best to get it out. Answer your questions as much as we can.
We got any questions right now?
Alright, so we got one question here from A Romano 22.
Oh, yeah.
Top keeper potential, rookie not named, Clyde Edwards-Helaire.
Take it away, Dave.
Well, I like Cam Akers. I mean, it's going to take him a few weeks to really get going in St. Louis, but the kid was a beast in college, and I think he's just going to continue to be a beast in a backfield that needs help after Todd Gurley got taken away to Atlanta.
See, I'm going to go with Jonathan Taylor. I'm not a fan of Taylor right off the bat. He does have to deal with snaps from Marlon Mack and Nyheim Hines. Don't forget about Hines. He's a beast in the passing game. Colts version of James White. But Taylor is a beast. Taylor is a beast there. I mean, if he does take over in Indy, that team is one of the best offensive lines in football. They play the Jaguars twice this year. They play Houston twice this year. Very run favorite defense. The defenses they're going to play are going to be very bad against the run. I'm going to go Jonathan Taylor.
Mm-hmm. Who has him? Believe it's
Discount Belichick.
Yep. Well, I'm playing this week.
Don't worry about him week 1.
Easy dub, baby. Easy dub.
All right, we got another one from B McGinn 55.
Oh, the rookie. All right.
Is J.K. Dobbins a viable flex week 1?
No. Not at all.
I'm going to say week 1, no. Dobbins is a guy you want to wait on.
Yeah, I'll say maybe halfway through the season after the bye.
Dobbins tore up at Ohio State.
Mm-hmm. You got to remember, you have Lamar Jackson as your starting quarterback.
Lamar Jackson's going to run the ball a ton.
And you have Mark Ingram, who is a powerhouse back.
He's not going to touch the ball on the goal line. They still have Gus Edwards. I would wait on playing J.K. Dobbins. I'm going to say don't drop him. Keep him on your bench. He's going to come in eventually at some point in the year and take over for Ingram. So I say week 1, no. Don't drop him. Just stash that.
All right. One in the chat, Baldinosaur 1798 asks, did you guys match on purpose today?
Actually, we did not. I thought of it. I thought of texting Dave and saying, hey, let's wear our best jersey, or hey, let's go shirtless this week. But I'm going to say I wore this today, and coincidentally, Dave actually matched me. So it would have been great to plan that, though.
Hey, Baldino, good question.
We may plan it in the future, actually, now that you have brought that to my mind.
All right. Here's another one from the one and only Nate Orn.
Boo!
He wants to know
Can't wait for this question.
Who reached the most in this year's draft?
I mean, it's gotta be Fran's dad. Tom Brady at pick 9 is
As we
insane.
we did talk about it at the beginning. We had a little mess at the beginning of our draft this year. Live drafts. Please show up.
Two kids didn't show up, so we had to replace them last minute. And one of them was Fran's dad, who was in the league before, and he went with his first overall pick at 9 with TB12. So that's probably. I mean, I reached 2. I drafted AJ Green, I think, at around 50. So it's going to pay off, though.
Both picks are a reach, but both picks can turn out very good. AJ Green hasn't been on the field since, I believe, 2018. Gronk has actually played more in the last 2 years than AJ Green. Gronk was completely retired last year. So AJ Green playing for the best quarterback he's ever played for with Joe Burrow. They're, again, another team that's game script's going to be pass, pass, pass. AJ Green, if he does come back full health, is going to be a beast. He's going to be one of Burrow's favorite targets, if not his favorite target. Look out.
Boyd, though.
One of. And Tom Brady, I mean, finally gets a stacked offense. Pats did absolutely nothing for him the last 5 years on that offensive side of the ball. Brady goes to Tampa Bay, playing for Bruce Arians. I mean, you got Brady now going to Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, Gronk's back. So, I mean, Brady, let's see. I mean, Brady's got that chip on his shoulder, so let's see if he can do it without
You gotta
Bill.
love Bruce Arians, man. Absolute stud of a coach.
Any more questions?
All right, yeah, we got another one from Shane Pelchat. With McKissick getting the start, do I still play Gibson, or do I put Mostert in the flex position?
I'm not touching any Washington running back. I mean, I'd go Raheem Mostert all day. He basically ran as fast as anyone possibly could against the Packers in the, divisional championship game last year.
Tore that Packers defense up.
Yeah, I mean, what was he, undrafted? Came from nothing, and he's a beast now. I'd keep running with him, especially until they figure out what's going on in Washington.
So Washington, I mean, Gibson's another guy. The hype train's crazy. If you want to believe it, if you want to sit there, keep Gibson on your bench.
Sell.
Go for it. I'm out on Gibson. I don't really think he's going to be able to take it over. Like I said earlier, he could barely handle a workload in college. Don't think he's going to be able to do that in the NFL as well.
All right, we got one in the chat by Vision DDB. Who picked 508 native Pat Ricard?
Oh shit, that was
They don't know. They want to know.
No. That was I'm pretty sure it was Jake, wasn't it?
Discount Belichick, yeah.
Who then he dropped right away. So I mean, real respectful, Jake. Real respectful.
Love Pat Ricard, 508. Shout out. I mean,
hey, Project Pat, you ever want to come on the podcast, man? I mean, come on down.
Fantasy football does not have a place for the fullback position. I would say the NFL does. Pat made his first Pro Bowl last year. I would say, again, I expect Pat to have a huge year in Baltimore while they pound the rock all year.
Yeah, he had a few touchdowns last year. Don't forget that.
He did. I mean, you could stash him on your bench if you want.
You never know.
All right, we got another one from Jake Gaudette. Any surprise fantasy players this year?
So, I mean, I got a few. You want to really watch out for Jamal Williams. Aaron Rodgers has been saying recently that Jamal Williams has put in, like, the most work he's seen in recent years for a position player. And some of the routes he's running are unbelievable, he's saying. So watch out for him to take a lot of snaps from Aaron Jones.
See, I like Bryan Edwards as a surprise player. Not many people are drafting Edwards. He does play in the Vegas offense. I don't really trust Derek Carr at all. I don't think Carr is a good quarterback. But you do have Bryan Edwards. He fell into the second round this year in the draft. He was a potential first-round pick, broke his foot before the combine, couldn't show out, couldn't show everyone his talent. As he was at South Carolina the past few years, he is actually the career leader in yards and receptions. So if you guys have that big, deep bench, go sit there, go stash Bryan Edwards. He is the number 2 behind Henry Ruggs. He's going to be starting week 1. Raiders probably won't be winning many games. Dive into that pass game a little bit.
What about Hunter Renfrow? You like him at all?
I mean, I like Renfro out of slot, but Edwards is a big body receiver out wide. I want to say Terrell Williams just went out. He's actually out for the year now with that shoulder injury.
Yeah, I don't think he'll ever be healthy again.
No. So, I mean, I expect Edwards to jump right into exactly what that Terrell Williams spot was last year.
Everything with Las Vegas depends on Derek Carr being an actual competent quarterback. I mean, they still got Nathan Peterman. You never know.
True. I mean, Mariota, another one back on the IR.
Yeah.
Peterman could come in and take over that starting job.
Which would be insane.
I don't know about that one,
Stick to Vegas, man. Stick to Vegas.
All right, we got another one in the chat. Who is your pick to be the new Gronk for the Pats?
Nobody right now. I mean, Ryan isn't. No, not yet.
See, I mean, they drafted Asiasi. I like Asiasi. I mean,
I just don't think the Pats are going with pass-heavy tight ends at the moment. You know what I mean? I think it's a lot more run blocking.
I agree. I mean, Asiasi is a athletic tight end. I mean, they have Dalton Keene. I think
Dalton Keene, I think he could be a surprise low-end tight end, too.
Maybe. I mean, I think Keene's going to slide into that fullback role. The Pats had James Devlin retire. They had the fullback they signed actually opted out due to COVID-19. So
a lot of Patriots players.
They don't have a fullback right now. I believe Dalton Keene is going to step up and take that fullback role while you have Devin Asiasi out at the tight end. I mean, it's really tough to be the next Gronk. I mean, I don't really see that happening. Gronk's the best tight end ever to play football. So, I mean, Asiasi is going to be the starter. Cam does love his tight ends. Let's see how Asiasi plays out.
All right, another one in the chat from Chats George. Another tight end question. Sorry, not another tight end question. My apologies. Thoughts on Zach Moss maybe starting eventually in Buffalo?
See, that's a good one. I mean, I like Moss. McDermott sat there last year with Frank Gore. I mean, Gore does somehow still steal carries from Devin Singletary. They were very high on Singletary last year, but they went out and drafted Moss early this year, back in April. I mean, Moss is another big guy. He dealt with a lot of injury history back in Utah. I mean, Moss, another guy, you could probably start him in your flex week 1, maybe week 2. But I don't really see Zach Moss taking over the starting gig.
No, I think you're going to see...
Unless you see an injury or ball security issues with Devin Singletary.
Yeah, I think you're going to see a committee there. It's not going to be a lot touches either way. Maybe 10 to 15. But you still have Josh Allen with Stephon Diggs this year. So it's going to be a lot more airing the ball out than running it in good old Buffalo.
John Brown's still there, man. I mean,
one of the fastest players in the league.
I love Brown. I love Diggs. Let's just see if Josh Allen knows where he's going to be throwing the ball this year.
I mean, the one thing with Josh Allen, he's never had that deep threat. And now with Stephon Diggs, he actually has someone that I think
I honestly
catches overthrowing balls.
I would not be shocked if you see Buffalo in the AFC Championship this year. That defense is absolutely loaded.
I give them home field advantage.
If Josh Allen can progress the way everyone is saying he should.
That defense is pretty good, too.
Defense is stacked. I mean, you're going to look at that Broncos team, Peyton Manning.
Yeah.
Manning couldn't even feel his fingers. And that
he couldn't throw a ball. Yeah.
So all Josh Allen needs to do is not lose games this year in Buffalo. And surprise pick, look out for Buffalo. I think they could make the AFC Championship, possibly the Super Bowl.
You never know. Hey, nothing circles the wagon.
Like Buffalo Bills.
We got one from Instagram, from Austin Fitman.
The Bald Bandit. Hello, sir.
He says, Le'Veon Bell or David Johnson?
In
PPR.
Don't even talk.
Different situations, but similar chances to produce.
No, David Johnson. I mean, dude, you got a head case in Adam Gase. You see what I did there? It's awful. The Jets are a dumpster fire. We've seen it live. It's not great.
I'm not a fan of either of them.
David Johnson has had his best workout pre-camp.
The thing with David Johnson is you got B.O.B., Bill O'Brien over there in Houston. I mean, he shipped away DeAndre Hopkins
for a bag of nuts
for David Johnson. I mean, he's going to have to feed Johnson and just feed and feed and feed Johnson.
I think you're going to get a lot of play-action passes with Deshaun and David Johnson.
I agree.
It's going to be a fun offense to watch.
O'Brien's going to have to make that trade look good. He's going to do whatever he can to make that trade look good and even make it look like it made sense. So he's going to give Johnson the rock a ton. Adam Gase doesn't like Le'Veon Bell. It's very clear.
Makes no sense. I mean, guy's one of the best running backs in the league. I think when utilized properly.
As long as O'Brien doesn't try and do halfback dive after halfback dive, as he has in the past, I think David Johnson's going to have a big year. I don't really like David Johnson, but it's pretty much very similar to that Leonard Fournette situation you had in Jacksonville the last few years, where he was a great fantasy value based on the volume alone. Let's see how efficient he can be. Well, I don't really.
You got to watch out for Duke Johnson too. He's still in Houston. He gets a lot of reps.
We'll see.
Bill O'Brien likes him a lot.
We'll see.
We got another from the chat, also from Vision. Says, what do you think of the Cowboys this year?
I mean, dude, that Cowboys offense is absolutely loaded.
Stacked.
They went out.
You got a top 2 running back.
For whatever reason, they won't pay Dak Prescott,
which will fuck them in the end.
The more they wait on paying Prescott, the more that price tag goes up. I don't know if you guys saw that Deshaun Watson extension. I mean, 2 days after they tagged Dak Prescott, Patty Mahomes came out with a $500 million contract.
Jerry Jones is being taxed, and he doesn't even know it.
They want Prescott to be good. If Prescott is good, which I believe he will, they're good. I mean, that defense is legit.
I need a playoff win from him.
You got Amari Cooper. You got
who
CeeDee
has
Lamb,
a concussion, who might not play week 1.
Concussion this year?
Yep. And Michael Gallup is a beast.
Gallup's a beast. CeeDee Lamb was an absolute stud at Alabama. We'll see how he goes. I mean, I'm all in on that Cowboys offense. You just gotta hope that defense is there.
And new head coach Mike McCarthy. It's gonna be he was awesome in Green Bay, I thought.
Awesome in Green Bay. Green Bay, you had McCarthy and Aaron Rodgers was number 1.
I don't know why they would change that up. But
he was the number 1 quarterback for how many years in Green Bay? I mean, Dak Prescott can replicate the same thing.
We got another one from Instagram, also from Nate Orn. Who will be the surprise dark horse team to make a deep playoff run out of nowhere?
Not Nate. I'll tell you that. That's what you're looking for, Nate. No, I think I would say myself, but that's just because I'm the champ. But I like Scorpio's team. As crazy as it was to draft Tom Brady around pick 9, I think there's a lot of upside there. Same with Discount Belichick, which we have him at 8th, so it's not really that big of a dark horse. But I think that top 5 is pretty solid, and I think it might stay there.
I agree on that one, Dave.
All right, and I think we have time for one more here. We got another one from Jay Gaudat. Says, do you have any bold player/team predictions for the season?
So I got a few. I mean, like we said, I think the Bills get home field advantage in the playoffs, no doubt about it. The Patriots are good. I'm not saying they're not. I mean, you're obviously saying they'll probably go like what? What do you think they'll go?
6-10 realistically.
Yeah. So there's that. I mean, they're probably going 10-6, 11-5. Let's be honest here. Cam Newton's a former MVP, but that Bills team has only gotten better, and I think they're finally going to go over the edge and beat the Patriots.
I agree on the Bills.
Anything in the NFC?
I mean, if I'm going to go NFC, I love the Atlanta Falcons.
Yep.
You have the Saints.
How many first-round picks is on that offense?
11 starters, all first round. You got the Saints. Saints are obviously going to be pretty good. You have the Buccaneers, obviously pretty good. Carolina Panthers are just going to get the crap beat out of them all year by that division.
That defense is not great.
Panthers honestly might end up with one of the worst. They might go 4-12 this year. Panthers are not going to be good.
I mean, I think they'll do better. Teddy Bridgewater, Christian McCaffrey, DJ Moore.
Dark horse for me. I mean, I'm going to go with Atlanta. I'd have them as my NFC South division winner.
And hey, if you have a healthy Carson Wentz, look out for the Eagles.
Eagles too, yeah. If I'm going to go with a bold prediction on players that nobody's looking for, I mean, watch out for Gerald Everett over there in LA. Everett was their starting tight end last year until week 11 when he went down with the injury. If you didn't know, LA actually changed the personnel from a one tight end set to a 2 tight end set. While Everett was hurt, that's where Tyler Higbee absolutely blossomed last year. Everett is more athletic than Higbee. He's faster than Higbee. Higbee may have better hands, but deep in that red zone, look out for Gerald Everett. I mean, if I'm going to go deep sleeper, I'm going Gerald Everett in LA.
I think you got to look at some backups, and Carlos Hyde in Seattle. Chris Carson, every year he gets hurt. I don't think has played a healthy season in 3-4 years.
And I do believe Carlos Hyde's coming off a 1,000-yard season in Houston last year. So,
and he is a way better pass catching back than Chris Carson is. That's one of Chris Carson's biggest flaws so far. I believe he is on our waiver wire too. So keep out for Carlos Hyde.
Absolutely.
What else we got here?
Now let's take a quick break here to give you a little sponsor news. If you guys would like that.
Baldino sore. Size does matter. All right, and we're back.
So we're gonna go with our weekly fantasy stardom and situm of week 1.
We're gonna go QBs, running backs, wide receivers, and tight ends. Start off with QBs. I got for stardom. I'm gonna start Tom Brady. I mean, first week he's gonna have a beast of a week. He's got a chip on his shoulder. He wants to show the whole league what he's doing. It's gonna be a pass-heavy offense with Fournette just getting in there. I don't think they're gonna trust him enough. Should be interesting.
I'm going to go with Carson Wentz against Washington. I'm going to say Wentz doesn't have great wide receivers. We'll see about the Miles Sanders injury, see if Sanders, Alshon can play. If both those guys are playing, the Eagles are going to roll either way. If you get both those guys, Carson Wentz is going to even have a bigger week this week 1. So Carson Wentz, my week 1 stardom. For week 1 situms, I hate to break it to you, Dave. I gotta go Aaron Rodgers. Last year, the
my guy.
Packers didn't pass nearly as much as they used to under Mike McCarthy. They're going week 1 against the Minnesota Vikings in Minnesota. I mean, home field isn't going to be that big anymore, but it's not
a 1
Green
o'clock
Bay.
game. You gotta watch out.
Indoor in Minnesota instead of outside at Lambeau. I'm sitting Aaron Rodgers week 1.
All right. I mean, I'm definitely starting him because that's my guy. That's my quarterback. It's my QB1. He's a former MVP, former Super Bowl champ, so you doubt him. He'll just show you why he's the best.
Let's see.
And then for Situm, I got Deshaun. First game of the year. I don't trust him. I mean, I think he still has nightmares from that Kansas City game last year where he couldn't do anything in that second half. So I think that Kansas City defense is ready to play.
It's going to be tough also for Deshaun to step in this year with Brandon Cooks and Randall Cobb.
I mean, you don't have DeAndre Hopkins as your number 1.
And he's got 2 new guys.
In crunch time, you throw it to DeAndre Hopkins.
He hasn't even played a game with Cooks or Cobb yet. I mean,
he's got Will Fuller as his number 1, basically.
For running backs, my stardom is going to be Josh Jacobs for Las Vegas. Carolina's run defense last year was absolutely terrible.
Yep.
Jacobs is a stud. Let's go. I'm starting Josh Jacobs week 1.
Just hope that Gruden doesn't try to air it out a little too much.
We'll see.
I'm going to start Derrick Henry. I mean, he's coming off one of the best running back seasons of all time. Everyone says it's going to be an injury-prone year for him. You know, everything goes down, stock dropped. I think he's just going to be a beast. You got Tannehill as your quarterback, never a good thing. So, I mean, what are you going to do? You got to start Derrick Henry. He's going to go for 125 and 2 touchdowns.
Also playing in Denver, just lost Von Miller. Crucial blow to that defense. For Situm week 1, I'm gonna sit Kenyon Drake.
Yeah, I mean, I don't like him at all.
I'm not a fan of Kenyon Drake. Obviously, Kingsbury is, but Drake does have a very tough matchup with San Francisco week 1. San Francisco's run defense is absolutely phenomenal. I'm sitting Drake.
Yeah, I'm sitting Antonio Gibson. Like I said, I don't buy anything Washington's selling. It's just going to be a dumpster fire in Washington this season. I'm saying maybe 2-14, 1-15 maybe. So, I mean, just don't even touch any Washington player. Terry McLaurin I wouldn't even touch either.
For wide receivers, who are you starting this week, Dave?
My guy, A.J. Green, Mr. Turf Toe himself.
Ooh,
he is going to get 128 yards on the dot, 2 touchdowns, 1 60-yard bomb.
Ooh. I love to see Joe Burrow ball out week 1. So we got. I'm gonna go Tyler Lockett. Lockett's a beast for Russell Wilson. He is Wilson's favorite. Everyone's huge on DK Metcalf this year. I like Metcalf, but once you give that Metcalf boost, a lot of people are falling away from Tyler Lockett. Please don't. Lockett's going to be a stud again this year. If you look at the last 3 years for Tyler Lockett, he is right up there with Julio Jones in catches and yards. Way ahead in touchdowns. Buy in on Tyler Lockett while you can. I'm going to sit Terry McLaurin. McLaurin's playing against Philly. Philly just acquired Darius Slay. Slay is one of the top 3 cornerbacks again, when he does shadow the wide receiver 1. So I'm going to stay far away from Terry McLaurin week 1.
Yeah, I'm going to be sitting DJ Chark. This Indy's defense is awesome. Everything about it. And Gardner Minshew has been confused by them before, so I don't expect anything from Minshew this year. That's a tanking team. They're going to get Trevor Lawrence. Minshew's going to get shipped off somewhere. It's going to be all good and dandy for Jacksonville Jaguars. 2-14.
With tight ends, I'm going to be starting Darren Waller. Again, Carolina's defense. I hate to pick on you Panthers fans, but they're not good. Darren Waller's probably going to be Derek Carr's favorite target this year.
And only, maybe.
Honestly, yes. I'm going Darren Waller week 1.
Yeah, I'm starting Evan Ingram. Everyone says injury prone. I don't care. This kid's a baller. Daniel Jones, if he can hold on to the ball, 18 fumbles last year. I mean, that's tough.
Those little hands, man.
11 lost. Very small hands. If he can get the ball out and give it to Evan Ingram, I think we have a good shot with him.
Shockingly, I actually have Evan Ingram as my sit-em this week.
Classic Fran.
Ingram's playing the Pittsburgh Steelers. Steelers, I mean,
that defense is gross.
You bring in that Minka Fitzpatrick. Let's see if he guards him. I mean, if he does, stay far away from Ingram. They're going to be forcing a lot of turnovers. Probably 2 fumbles that game from Daniel Jones. But I mean, I'm not liking Evan Ingram this year. I'm sitting him.
So I'm sitting Gronk. I think it's Gronk. I mean, Gronk's Gronk. They said that he's looking as healthy as ever, but I think it's just going to be a run set tight end where he's just going to be blocking all day, and then who is it? Hooper?
Yep, Austin Hooper.
Austin Hooper is going to be
OJ Howard.
OJ Howard is going to be getting all of the touchdowns.
Yeah, I agree. Honestly, I'm very big on OJ Howard this year. Gronk is going to be a beast when it comes to the run game.
And the playoffs. Don't forget. I mean,
playoff Gronk's different. Honestly, he's a lot different, but
like limiting slap count and everything like that.
Yeah, I don't see Gronk to be on the field a lot early in the season. If he is, it's going to be red zone only.
Mm-hmm.
But for the majority of the time, I see OJ Howard taking that passing work.
Yeah. So we got our matchup of the week, and ironically, it is our commissioner versus the bald bandit himself. Rated X.
I'm going to go out there. I'm going to go Ben Roethlisberger, QB1. I'm going to say I'm starting Ronald Jones and Clyde Edwards-Helaire. At receiver, I'm going Kenny Golladay, Deontay Johnson, Allen Robinson. Tight end, I have George Kittle. Against Rated X, he's going to be deploying Baker Mayfield, Le'Veon Bell, Austin Eckler, DJ Chark, Calvin Ridley, Adam Thielen, Darren Waller. Man,
I don't like Bell, and I don't like Baker Mayfield.
I don't either.
Baker against the Ravens in the past, he had that one good game, I believe, week 2 or 3 of last year. Then ever since then, it was all downhill. I mean, news about Odell broke. You never know what's going to happen with that. You know, he might play on the field. He might get shit on. You know, it's tough.
Absolutely.
It's tough.
I hate to be biased, but I got to go with myself week 1.
I'm going with Pittman. I mean, Bald Bandit, I can't have the commissioner win these. Got to take him down quick. Bald Bandit, I got it all on you.
All right, we'll see. So, I'm going to give you the game of the week in the NFL. I'm going to go with Tampa Bay against New Orleans.
Yeah, I mean, that's going to be a slugfest.
You got Brady versus Breeze week 1. I mean, that's must-see TV. We've been asking for that Super Bowl forever.
Yeah.
It's going to be week 1. I mean, let's go. There's nothing better to get you pumped
Breeze,
to
I
see
think
those
Breeze
two.
He's gonna be a little mad. Nobody's been really talking about him besides that mishap in the offseason he had. But
yeah, all the eyes are on Tampa and Tom Brady this year, so we'll see. I mean, week 1 in New Orleans, I'm going Saints.
Yeah, week 1 for me, I think the game of the week is going to be that first game, KC versus Houston. It's going to be a slobber knocker, man. It's 2 great offenses going against each other, 2 high-powered offense, 2 great QBs. I'm going to take Kansas City, and I'm going to take them -9 too. I think that's a lock of the week for me. Kansas City -9. I think I'm going to parlay that with the over. That's an easy moneymaker right there. Can't lose parlay.
I'm buying in on that Kansas City team. I like Kansas City -9 as well week 1. And to end our show this week, we're just going to go over our 508 association matchups. I'm going to pick. Dave's going to pick. If we have a tie, our producer Tyler is going to pick.
Mm-hmm.
We're actually going to keep record of this throughout the entire year. May the best man win. Let's go.
Should be fun, boys.
So, week 1, I have the franchise versus Rated X. I'm taking the franchise.
Yeah, I'm taking Rated X.
Tyler?
Don't do it. I mean, it's the commissioner, man.
Yeah, it's the commissioner. I gotta go with the franchise.
Hey, what? No.
All right, we'll see. So, we have Shane's football team versus It Hearns When I Pee.
What an awful name. Shane football team. Trash name. No
I gotta go Shane's football team. I mean, as much as I would like to see him lose week 1, Lamar Jackson's not losing many games this year.
He drafted pretty
Neither
good
is Shane's
too.
football team. Todd?
Yeah, I'm going to go with Shane's football team. Yeah.
Alrighty, we got Discount Belichick versus Nation of Domination. Nation of Domination will be reigning champion, David.
Yeah, I'm gonna smoke him. 200 points to probably 10. He's probably gonna have negative 100 on every single person.
Let's see.
Easy money, easy dub this week.
I mean, if
look at my team.
If Cooper plays, it's gonna rely on Amari Cooper if he's healthy week 1.
Aaron Rodgers goes for 30. Christian McCaffrey goes for 30. My kicker 35. Beautiful night for Brandon McManus.
I'm gonna go Nation of Domination.
Thank you, friend.
As much as I want to say that Nation of Domination's kicker is going to go off,
I mean, this guy is...
kickers are super important to fantasy football. I want to go with Discount Belichick because Nation of Domination is going to have that, that Super Bowl hangover.
It's a little collusion, don't you think, right? It's a little collusion.
You may have a Super Bowl hangover out there, though.
Yeah, I mean, I cannot confirm or deny that.
We got Morningwood versus 69ers. I'm going to go 69ers.
What a matchup. Morningwood and 69ers.
Great name matchup. It's like that Jersey matchup, but the name matchup right there. I love that one.
69ers.
That may be name matchup of the year.
Yeah. No, I think Chubby Chases and Morningwood when they square off will be nice.
Ooh, that's a good one too. So, I'm going 69ers there. How about you?
Same. Chubby Chases is garbage.
No, Morningwood.
No, Morningwood's garbage too. Yeah, I have 15 and 16, so
yeah.
I think 69ers drafted a great team. Tyreek Hill, Breeze, Kamara, Sutton, Mark Andrews. That's kind of bullshit. Yeah, I mean...
69ers are going 13-0.
The co-owners. Yeah.
Our producer is a co-owner of the 69ers this year. So we got rookie matchup here. Pour one out for Mahomes and Team Haas. I'm going to go... I mean, I like Team Haas. I'm going to go Team Haas. As much as I hate to pick against Mahomes, I'm going Haas.
I think Mahomes just has the better team, man. Mahomes is a stud, and he's going to show why. He got $500 million this year.
Tyler?
I'm going to go with Mahomes.
Yep. All right. Suck My Fits versus SJ Knights.
Yeah,
Suck My Fits is winning one game this year, so I'm going SJ Knights.
Yeah, it's not that one. See ya. See you,
not this week.
Based on the team name, Suck My Fits.
Ooh, alrighty. Sleeper pick. We're Straight Cash Homie versus Armageddon for 7. Armageddon for 7. I hate it.
Yeah. No, yeah. I mean, Bryce hasn't been able to draft a team in 3-4 years, so he drafted Sony Michel. That's all you gotta say.
Sweaty Punt versus Scorpio.
Awesome name. Clever. But
I'm gonna go Scorpio. I think Brady's gonna have a big.
It's all about Brady and that. Brady and he has Gronk too, I believe, doesn't he?
Edelman.
And Edelman's gonna be wide receiver 1 for that Patriots team.
I say Edelman, D-Hop, James Conner, Jack Doyle.
Jack Doyle is going to be a problem this year.
He starts Renfro as well.
Yeah, I don't like that.
And then final matchup of the week, we have Chubby Hunters versus Tank for Trevor.
I gotta go with my guy Romano. You know, he's got some upside. He's probably gonna lose a lot of games this year, but I'll give him this one.
I'm gonna go against that. I'm gonna go with Chubby Hunters. And Tyler?
Is it Chubby Hunters or Chubby Chasers?
Hunters.
Should they change the name?
Yeah, I mean, remember
added Kareem Hunt.
There was a big old name controversy in the chat.
I forget. Okay, so Chubby Hunters. I'm gonna go with that team.
Alrighty, and I believe that's gonna be it for today's show.
Yeah.
Hey,
thank you guys for tuning in to the 508 Power Hour. You can follow us on Instagram and Twitter and Facebook at 508 Association, or was it Power Hour? Power Hour.
Don't forget to check out our YouTube.
And make sure you like and follow us on Twitch. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.